So, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yes, it's 2025. It's April 2025. And this is the first low-res race ramble of 2025. Now, I was going to do garage bits and start off with, oh, woe is me, we had a really terrible Snetterton, etc, etc. And there will be a little bit of that. But Thursday, you get a phone call that kind of changes everything. So, yeah, we go racing because we enjoy it, because we love it, and because we get the thrills on it. And the friends you make along the way are pretty damn special as too. So, yeah, rest in peace, Tom. So before we get started on round one at Snetterton, which didn't go well, as I said in the intro, look how much the car has changed. And we need to go into that as well, because I've got some very special people that helped me a lot over the winter to get this done. One massive change on the car is the paintwork. It's gone from black to white. And all of this corner here has been completely redone. Now, that was due to a very special friend of the team, Mr. Scott Evans of Sandown Motorsport. And we were chatting towards the end of last year, and he recognised that I was effectively a club racer with a very, very tight budget. So I bought the paint and the other sort of accessories and consumables involved over a couple of months. And then over the winter on a weekend, we got the car into Sandown Motorsport, and they did an absolute crackerjack job transforming this back quarter. I also put my hand through the sill. It was that rotten, so Scott welded a brand new sill in on the outside, and we just got to work tidying the car up. And over the winter, it was kind of decided that we needed to do a bit of a refresh on the car. We raced this as a turbo car for the first time last year, and we turned some heads and got some really good results and came away with a podium at Alton Park, which even I wasn't expecting. But yeah, it certainly looks a lot different now and a lot tidier. I'll show you through a few of the other bits that we've done to upgrade the car. Once the car was back, we tidied up the rear suspension and put a brand new, pretty schmick, tunable white line rear anti-roll bar on it, which from the first test out was pretty damn good at Snet. Track in the car as well. You'll see these little plates in the back here. They're axle spacers, which actually spaces the rear axle out about 15 millimeters each side. I've got wheel spacers to work on the front because we are eventually going to put a bigger caliper on the front. We didn't manage to get that done over the winter, but after Snetterton it is abundantly clear that needs to change. So yeah, we've gone wider on the front, wider on the rear, a much wider track, and it's just so stable. Still got a side exit though, how cool's that? And once again, look at that lovely paintwork. It's a bit dirty because I need to wash it after Snet, but I love it in white. I put a new rain light on the back because the old one was basically a bodged version of the third brake light, and this was on sale for 50 quid from Motorsport Direct or something like that on eBay, so I bought it. It's a nice LED one, looks really tidy, middle of the back. You ain't going to struggle to see that, are you? Here's another big thing that I changed over the winter. So I've cut out the spare wheel well and blanked it with an aluminium sheet and bonded and riveted in an aluminium sheet, so that gets rid of the spare wheel well, which is actually quite heavy in these cars, which is strange. Now, since Snetterton, I've discovered that having bought a new factory bumper, that it's creating quite a parachute effect on the back. So we are going to trim the back bumper before we go to Alton Park in 3 weeks' time. But you see this big aluminium box in the back? That's because I've got rid of the factory fuel tank, made this box, or rather riveted this box together. Thank you, B&Q. And this is the entire fuel system for the car. So we've got a 20 litre fuel tank in there. We've got a pickup pump from the tank to the surge tank, and then the main pump feeding the rest of the car. So I've got a 20 litre tank, I've got a 2 litre surge tank in there with all the trimmings all sealed within this box in the back, and it's in enough that if I do get rear-ended, won't touch the tank. And that's about half the weight of the standard factory tank, which is over there. It was about 55 litres. It was a massive plastic thing, and the problem I was having was the top of the tank was starting to leak, where you have these brittle plastic fittings that go after a while. It was a bit of a faff. There was pipes everywhere, and I just thought, you know what, get rid of it all, put it all in one place. So that was a big project that I did over the winter as well, and I quite like the look of it, and it's easy to fill up. I open the boot, open the lid, take it up, put 22 litres in, bish bash bosh, done. The wheels got powder coated and refurbished as well. I've never had the money to do that sort of thing, but great sponsors have stepped in, and the Southern Speed Shop made sure that happened for me. So I've got the wets done, I've got the dries done, I've got to scrub the dries with a wheel wash shortly, doing the post-set work. But before I go through all the work I've now had to do since Snetterton, the liveryless car, we completely ran out of time to get the car to Snetterton with a full livery on it. We're going to run a Valvoline tribute livery from 2023, and Scott and the Sandown crew are going to help me with that. And we turned up at Snetterton, got into qualifying, and as you'll see, it was a bit truncated, and we had a bit of a spin as well. Welcome everyone, it's 2025. I haven't even shown you the new car yet. Welcome back to the Focus, but it's not as you know it. Brand new look for this year, and kind of necessitated by rot. Good session out with the modified Fords. So this is qualifying for round one at my favourite circuit, Snetterton. Let's send it. So, yeah, came out of qualifying, 12th overall, 4th in class, and I'm thinking, you know what, we're on here. I had Martin Reynolds around me, who was in my class, and I know he was going to be quick in his Escort, but, You know, as you'll see in the first few laps of race 1, I was battling with him and trying to get past him. And a lot of the cars around me as well, I struggle with gearing because that is a bog standard road box on an ST180. Whereas everyone else around me have got sequentials or dog boxes. So yeah, if anyone's watching and wants to sponsor me money towards a dog box, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, I like the fact that I punch above my weight with this car. So going into race 1, I felt a bit confident. We didn't get a lot of track time in qualifying. We didn't get a lot of chance to put laps in. So a lot of the bigger boys were behind me. And we had the likes of Steve Goldsmith that unfortunately didn't make it after qualifying, after blowing engines and such like. The Boomerang boys were going to be way out in front in class as expected. They've put a lot of money into those cars and a lot of time. But yeah, race 1, I guess I'll take it away. So yeah, race one. At the time, I finished that race and I sat in the car for about 5 minutes, just took a couple of deep breaths, and I wasn't overall happy. I felt that I wasn't given enough room. But once you get, footed onto a big screen and you have a look at where you are and where the car is, I don't think Steph meant to put me in that position. So it's just unfortunate. I was having a little battle with Martin and Gary, and to be honest, I was just overdriving the car and driving like a dick. I could drive a lot faster than that. I could drive a lot smoother than that. And I think I just spent too much time mirror watching and not looking forward, because Martin was the target, because he was in my class. It's as simple as that. But unfortunately, Steph made a good move down the inside. I got onto the marbles and I ended up gone on the outside of Coram. Now, that little off that I had, once I got back on, the steering wheel didn't feel right and the toe had actually come in, so I'd had a significant run over the grass. And an onlooker actually did tell me, once I saw them back at the pits, that I got air. So it's quite a significant run off onto the grass. Wasn't the best, wasn't very nice. So got back, and SCR, Chip Howland, checked over the car in terms of all four corners of the suspension, because that's what we focused on. But in race 2 coming up, you're going to see that it only lasted one lap. Now I'm going to show you why. Roll tape. So yeah, I don't know if it's a result of me going off in race 1, but this is the gearbox mount in question. It's got 4 securing holes in it, 3 go into the side of the box, 1 goes on top. 2 of the bolts were just missing, and they did have lock nuts, sort of locking tabs on them. They obviously didn't work, so what I have done is put a brand new mount in there today. Same design, so this is a Mark III Focus EcoBoost mount that bolts onto the side of that gearbox, and then it's got the M14 thread in there, which I've got 10.9 stud in, because I had the 8.8 fail at Castle Combe, as you remember in my low race ramble back at Castle Combe. So anyway, that broke off, and that caused the drive shaft to slam down onto the subframe and smash it to bits. So it looks like that's literally what's happened. So there's a lot of broken bearings in there. Whether I resurrect this shaft or not, I mean, I'd like to. I'll probably give it a good clean up, see if there's any machining issues, put some new bearings on there, re-grease it and have it as a spare. I will probably do that. It's just a pain in the arse because we're going well in that race. But yeah, that's a 2 meeting old drive shaft that's been destroyed. And to be honest, it's quite simply down to me not checking. It could well be that those 2 bolts fell out well before Snetterton, which I think they have. So I was so busy scrambling and trying to sort everything else out ready for the race meeting. Unfortunately, we had an issue with the car. But before we go, just my personal thanks to everyone, and I mean everyone, that has contributed, whether it's in terms of your time. People have put money in, people have sponsored me, backed me. EBC are providing me with fantastic braking power this year. Once again, it's great to have EBC back on board. Sandown Motorsport for your wonderful work on the body, and Scott and the guys down there do some fantastic work, and I'm hopefully going to be vlogging my experience helping with their Porsche Box to Race team this year. My good buddy Paul Harvey, he's almost a father figure to me. He's such a good bloke, and he will help absolutely anyone. And when he backs the podcast and he backs everything I do with Icon, it's a sign of a true friend there. He's backed me again this year. Grace Motorsport for their wonderful sticky slicks off of their Mini Coopers. I've got some great people backing me. So Southern County Trailers as well. They've letting me use their trailer this year. So lots to ponder on, lots to think about. But on Thursday, unfortunately, before I started filming this, I got the news through that Tom, that you would see in one of the early race rambles when we went testing at Snetterton a few years ago, when I had the old engine in there, and Fury Auto Works was there with Andy, and Tom was there helping him. Well, Tom unfortunately passed away during the week. So as I said at the start of this episode, rest in peace, Tom. And he's helped out a bit on this car as well during his lifetime. So he had a brilliant V8 powered Lexus. He was an enthusiastic young lad. He was loyal, great to his mates, loved just doing anything to do with cars, bikes and anything. So it's quite tragic. So a bit of a solemn first low res ramble back, but surely I hope you folks will understand why. But we go to Walton Park in 2 weeks, and I've still got a load of prep work to do. So the next episode will be me getting ready for Walton Park, and then it will probably turn up with me in the assembly area, hopefully doing some good things. So for now, bye-bye.